Getting 4,000 hours is so difficult on YouTube. But I did it! I did it! So in this video, I'll show you exactly how I did it. So you can learn a few things or two and apply it to your own journey and to your own channel. By the way, this is Marco for Hustle Money channel. And today we're talking about how to get 4,000 hours on YouTube, which is a huge task. It's something very difficult to do. And I've been going at it for almost a year or even more, and I know how difficult it is. I've been trying to get to my 4,000 hours since the month of October last year, and we are October 2025 right now. So today I want to go through a few things that can probably help you out. And let me tell you my story real quick so you actually understand exactly what I'm talking about. So let me give you a story real quick of what happened to my adventure and how I got here. Well, I started in October 14, 2024, like I said. And at that point, I said to myself, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be serious about it because I've done, like many of you probably, some trials. At the beginning, I've tried so many times to start a channel. And for some reason, I always end up stopping after a few days, after a few weeks, and even after a few months. So in October 2024, this one I said I'm gonna get serious about it. And I started doing an average of about one video per week. And then I moved to about maybe 2-3 videos and so on. And this is when things are started to actually work for me. I started getting some momentum, getting a few subscribers here and there. I went from 0 to 10 to 40, 50 subscribers. I got excited, and along the way I had a lot of issues with microphone issues, software issues and whatnot. And this is when the first mistake came in. I started doing videos maybe about 3 per week, like I said, and all of a sudden I started changing my niche. I started looking at the lady in red, sort of saying, every time I used to see on my feed this video that pops up and it was trending and it was good, I said I'm gonna do my version of it. And then I went from one subject to another, and that's a really bad strategy, because then you're not focused on only one niche, then you're focused on too many niches, too many topics, too many ideas, too many subjects, and this is really bad for the algorithm. Because understand, since you are a small YouTuber, the way it works, you need to give data to the algorithm. And if the algorithm doesn't know where to categorize you, where to put you in the whole spectrum of the YouTube world, well, it's gonna have a hard time. And at the end, if you give him a hard time, what he's gonna do, he's just gonna ignore your channel, he's just gonna ignore your video, because he doesn't know where to put you, in which category. If today you're talking about YouTube, and then tomorrow you're doing a cooking video, and then after tomorrow you're doing a fitness video, and then the next day you're doing something else, then the algorithm hates it. You're gonna think YouTube hates you, and it's not that. It's actually the algorithm that doesn't like you. And the reason it doesn't like you is not because of the fact that your content is bad. It's because he doesn't find an audience for you. And that's what's important. It's to allow the YouTube algorithm to actually find an audience. And when he finds an audience for you, it becomes extremely easy for him to actually put you on the right category. And that's exactly what you should do. Concentrate, focus, narrow down. Have you seen those channels that are popular, that they are getting momentum? Is because they stick to one topic and they hammer and hammer and hammer the same topic and the same idea and the same thing over and over again, until the algorithm has enough data, enough information to say, okay, so the avatar, which is another topic we should talk about, maybe not on this video, but I'm going to give you a small idea. The avatar is who is watching actually. Who is this video intended for? You have to know, first of all, the age. Is it for someone younger? Is it for someone 17 years old, 18 years old, 19, 20, 21? Then the topic and the subject has to be different. Then if you're talking to your audience that it's maybe 30 years older, or an audience that is 50 years plus, it's different topics, different ideas, different things that you should be targeting and you should know. And the way you find out is you go in the audience section. I'll show you right here. You go into the audience and YouTube will tell you exactly who is watching. Now, in order to get that information, you're gonna need to have made enough videos, give the algorithm enough information so they can say, hey, look, your audience is 65 and older, or your audience is 45 and older, and so on. And you'll get that information. It also will tell you if your audience is from specific country. If your audience is from USA, from Canada, from Australia, from UK, or any other country, well, you'll find out also that type of information is going to be written over here in the audience section. And that information can help you adapt your content to that type of people and to your audience. So this is the first mistake that I did. I was too proud. I was kind of throwing pasta into the wall, thinking that by throwing pasta into the wall, I was gonna be more successful. I was gonna find my right audience. So I kind of said to myself, okay, let me talk about this and about that, about this. Let's see what sticks. And at the end, nothing was sticking. Nothing was sticking at all. And I was getting the algorithm crazy, which led me to my second mistake, which was I started doing shorts. This is another big mistake that YouTubers are doing, is they are confusing their channel and the algorithm once again. Because the algorithm, it's two actually algorithms. You have the long form and then you have the short form. These are two different algorithms. The way the programmers, they program the algorithm, and I can tell you a little bit about this because I understand programming a little bit. So I know all the loops, the if and this and that, and that how programming is done. It's you give them a bunch of loops and the algorithm will say, okay, if this channel does this, then do that. That's exactly what programming is. So the algorithm of people sliding real quick, it's not the same that people that are coming to watch an hour podcast, a 30-minute video, or a documentary, a 15 minutes chat about something, a particular topic. So it's completely different. So what you have to do, one thing, do not make the mistake to start doing long form content and then switch to shorts. You're gonna mess up the whole algorithm, and then you're gonna say, why I'm not getting any views anymore? Because now YouTube doesn't know where to put you. Does it put you into the algorithm of the shorts, or does it put you onto the category of long form? It's two different, completely two fields, completely apart. So don't do that mistake. Instead, let me give you a pro tip, and this is the tip. Create a long form channel, only long form. Try to make your videos about 25 to 35 minutes. This is the perfect target, 25 to 35. I've tried all the amounts, 5 minutes videos, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 12, 15, and so on.
I see you, Papa. Bye, Dad.
Okay, but don't make noise, please. So I tried all the amounts, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on. And the good amount should be between 25 to 35. This was, because you're gonna say, hold on, there's something I didn't talk about, is the 4,000 hours I did was not on this channel. It was on a different channel. Therefore, you might say, well, I don't see any videos that you have that have gathered the 4,000 hours. It's because it's in another channel. I'll show it to you later on. So it's important that you do that amount, because this is the amount, it's a sweet spot. The algorithm, the long form algorithm will actually like that you are making content between half an hour, 25 minutes and 45 minutes. That's a good target that you can put yourself to do, because then you're keeping the audience longer. If you make a video, a 10-minute video, what's gonna happen? The audience will stay 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I've tried. Like I said, it's not something that I'm just saying like that on the air. I actually tried. And then when I go and see the engagement of my audience, they only engage for a minute and a half. If it's good, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most. It's about 30%. But the algorithm doesn't like that. He wants a lot of time, and he wants that the audience stays a lot of time in your channel and on the YouTube application. And if you're helping the audience stay in the platform, the YouTube platform, then the algorithm will love you. So if you make a 35 minutes video and they stay for 5 minutes, that's great for the YouTube algorithm. That's what happened on my video. My video was 27 minutes long, and the average of people staying on the platform was about 6. I'll put it over here so you can see. I think it's about between 6 and 7 minutes, which the algorithm loves. And it blew my channel, it blew my hours, and it blew up also my subscribers. It blew up all the metrics, and that's what you want. So these are pro tricks that I'm giving you. You can write them down if you want. In any case, if you subscribe to my channel, I'll keep repeating this subject for people that haven't heard these nuggets. So that's what happens in my journey. So how did I get my 4,000 hours? I went a little bit out of subject, but I want to go back to the subject of this video, that is, how did I get my 4,000 hours? And the way I got my 4,000 hours, I'll explain you right now. After I did those 2 mistakes, my metrics went down the hill. I was not growing anymore. I was getting maybe a little bit of subscribers, but my hours were really not good. They were, I believe, 268 hours in total, when I needed to reach 4,000 hours. So I kind of gave up. I was not motivated anymore. I said to myself, I'm just wasting my time here. I think my time could be more productive doing something else than trying this YouTube adventure. And then eventually I retried again, because I continued my research. I continued searching and trying to find out the key, the secrets, and all that BS that gurus and other YouTubers are telling you, which is probably not true. Like, example, they are coming with the idea that YouTube is on easy mode. YouTube has a button in your settings that you forgot to turn on. Maybe that's why you're not getting views. And YouTube, you forgot to put the tags, and you forgot this and you forgot that. All that is not true. And I'll explain you exactly how is possible to get where you want to be. So in my story, the way it happened was, I was planning a trip, and I said to myself, I'm going to this trip, I'm gonna take some pictures, I'm gonna make some videos, and when I come back from my trip, I'm gonna do like a travel blog and see what happens. Maybe that will work. And that was the solution for me. That was my niche. That's what happened. I went on a trip, I did some videos, I did some pictures, and then when I came back, before I just went on and edit and send the video on YouTube, I started doing research. And this is when I came up with this framework. You need preparation. First, you need to prepare. You need to prepare what? You need to prepare first. I had, like I said, over 6 months of experience on YouTube with the algorithm, with the settings, with the YouTube studio and everything else. So I was already prepared. What else? I prepared my channel, I did my logo, I did my banner, I did all the preparation necessary to have my channel on point. Second step was research. I said, what the big bloggers are doing, the big travelers, let me see some of their videos and find out exactly what they're doing. So I started watching a bunch of videos from this blogger, that blogger, the other one. I spent maybe like a week watching and observing exactly how they were actually doing their videos. That's exactly how I'm gonna do mine. And I found one of the bloggers, he did a title. I love his title. I'm like, wow, this title, it's amazing. And I saw the views. He had like maybe like 1 million views in a few days. Of course, he was a big blogger, so it was normal for him to get that type of views, but out of all his videos, that was one of the best. So the title was excellent. So I said, I'm gonna take this title and I'm gonna put a little spin, adapt it to where I went on my trip. Just gonna change a few words, 1 or 2 words. Got my title, perfect. Second thing I did, the thumbnail. And I analyzed his thumbnail, and I also analyzed thumbnail of the city that I visit, of other bloggers, and I was seeing a little bit what they were putting. I said, okay, I have an idea. So I asked ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever, whichever one was available at the time, and I asked them to create me the thumbnail. And from there, I had almost everything prepared. That's the preparation, that's the research, which is the step, the second step, the research. So once I had my background, I insert myself into the background. Another pro tip that I'm going to give you, it's on your thumbnail, try to use red circle and then an arrow. The red circle has to circle something on your thumbnail that you want to point to, and the arrow as well. So that's gonna give like to emphasize into that object or phrase or whatever the hell you want to emphasize on your thumbnail. This is a way to improve your thumbnail. That's exactly what I did with my thumbnail. So once I had my title, my thumbnail, it was easy. I used AI. Again, the AI tools that I use is vidIQ. I put my title on vidIQ. vidIQ actually gave me exactly, improve a little bit the title, gave me the score, which was over 90, and then gave me the descriptions and then the tags, which I use, my keywords, which I use for my video. So now I had everything already set up before I even started editing my video. So that was done, thumbnail was done, title was done. I was ready for the last step, with execution. Execute your video. I did a voiceover on my video, and then I took all my videos that I took while I was on a trip. When I was getting into the plane, I took a video. When I was coming out, I took a video. When I was taking the luggages, I took a video. So it was always maybe 10 seconds videos that I took. 10 seconds, some when there were, because I didn't want to put people uncomfortable. Whenever I used to see people around, I used to move the camera or do it discreetly, not to put people to not, so I wouldn't put them uncomfortable. So that's what I did. Then I execute my voiceover, did the editing, everything came down, and then I sent my video on YouTube. At the beginning it went slow. The first 3 days I think I had zero traffic, no traffic at all, because what happened is usually YouTube will take a few days, maybe it goes onto a manual. Since you're a small YouTuber, it could probably go into a manual revision because they don't want to have bad videos on their platform. Maybe somebody manually did it, or the algorithm took, maybe you're in like in a queue. That's my other way of thinking, is if you have high subscribers, you're in a queue that goes fast. If you don't have any subscribers, you're small, then what's gonna happen, it's gonna put you in a different queue with small, it's like for small channels. And that what happened to me. For the first 3 days there was nothing. All of a sudden it went ballistic, and I started to be excited. But I thought it was gonna end up with maybe like 1,000 views, 800 views. I would have been more than happy with that. But at my surprise, it actually went ballistic. It went 2,000 views, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It started going crazy. And this is when my hours started to grow and grow and grow, from 200 to 600 to 700 hours to 900 hours to 1,000 hours. Then this is when I realized it's actually possible. My video might actually get me my 4,000 hours, and I was pumped. So I started launching new videos, trying to take advantage of that hype. And actually the other videos did not that bad too. They actually did about 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views, which was also good. But that one kept going, and because what happened, I think I made a mistake with the new videos that I did them around 7 to 12 minutes. So I didn't follow my own advice. My first video was 27 minutes, and all the others I reduced, and instead I should have kept the average, or about 27 or 30 minutes average, and that would have been perfect for my channel. But at least we learn and we go on, and that's exactly how I got my 4,000 hours with only one video, and it was in less than 15 days. So I hope you learn a few things here and there with this video. This is Marco from Hustle Money Channel. Till next time, stay blessed.